Word slokas 20 to 26, Lord Krishna cites the example of great kings like Janaka, who attained Siddhi by performing karma without any attachment. Lord Krishna urges Arjuna to practice karma yoga and be a role model to others. Talking about himself, Lord Krishna tells us that he tirelessly engages in work with commitment as people follow him. Sri Krishna thus urges wise persons to lead by example, and his conversations with Arjuna on Karma Yoga continues. Now Shloka 27.
प्रकृते क्रियमाणानि गुणैकर्माणि सर्वशः अहङ्कारविमूढात्मा कर्ताहमति मन्यते.
कर्माणि सर्वशः प्रकृतेः गुणैः क्रियमाणानि. Karmani sarvashaha, all actions, prakrutehi, gunaihi, the qualities of nature. So, in all cases, all actions are performed by the qualities of nature. Ahankara vimudhatma karta aham iti manyate. Ahankara vimudhatma, the vimudhatma is the ignorant. The ignorant who's full of ahankar, who's full of ego, karta aham iti manyate. He thinks that I am the doer. So how do actions take place? How are they performed? They are performed as per the three gunas, that is the qualities of nature, sattva, rajas and tamas. So we are inherently born with these qualities of nature. Now these qualities of nature, that is sattva, rajas and tamas, they impact the four elements, they modify the four elements, that is manas, buddhi, chitta and ahankar. Manas is mind, buddhi intellect, chitta is consciousness and ahankar is ego. So now, and then you have the five sense organs, eyes, ears, nose, skin and tongue, and the objects of senses like smell, eyes, color, objects, sound, etc. So how the mind instructs the senses to perceive the various material objects depends on the three gunas. These elements of nature of prakruti, which are under the control of the Supreme. So the way in which we act is to a very large extent impacted by the three gunas, sattva, rajas and tamasa. The Atma is a witness to the actions, and it is also a witness of the physical body and the other elements, the four elements like manas, buddhi, chitta and ahankar. So nature impacts the way we act, and yet the ignorant, the egoistic, the deluded person thinks that I am the doer. The wise man clearly makes the distinction. He knows that the Atma is him, the Atma is the self, and he knows very well that he is not the doer. He is not bound by the power of actions. The Vimudhatma, who is full of ego, he thinks the physical body is the self and he suffers pain and sorrow. So Lord Krishna explains how the Vimudhatma and the wise man act. The wise man is detached and he is unaffected. The Lord also makes it clear that nature functions through the gunas, three gunas, and makes us act.
तत्त्ववित्तु महाबाहो गुणकर्मा विभागयोः गुणा गुणेषु वर्तन्ते इति मत्वा न सज्जते.
तु महाबाहो गुणकर्म विभागयोगो तत्त्ववित्. Tu but Mahabaho, mighty armed Arjuna. So, oh mighty armed Arjuna, Tattvavit means it is Jnana Yogi. Who's a Jnana Yogi? Guna Karma Vibhaga Yoga. So, that Jnana Yogi, that wise person who knows the divisions of karma. So, Guna is the Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, natural qualities. Gunaha Guneshu Vartante. So, all these gunas in the form of sense organs, in the form of senses, these they function within the gunas, within the objects of perception. Iti matva na sajjate. So these wise persons, they know this. So knowing this, they remain detached. So how does the wise, the knower of truth, perform actions? He is detached like a drop of water on the lotus leaf. He is fully aware that there is the Atma which is real, which is the real him. He further knows that there are sense objects which are perceived and responded upon based on the inherent gunas of Prakriti, that is sattva, rajas and tamas. He knows that the various modifications in himself and the universe are because of these gunas in nature. So he keeps himself detached from these and he is not polluted by the sense objects. He knows to separate the grain from the chaff. He knows the truth, the Atma, and he keeps it detached from these. The ignorant who gets lost in the perception of these sense objects and resultant actions is caught in the Maya of samsara. He thinks he is the body, he undergoes all sufferings, and he reacts to anything and everything.
Prakrute gunasammudaha sajjante gunakarmasu tana kritsna vido mandan kritsna vinna vichalayet.
Prakrutehe gunasammudaha gunakarmasu sajjante. The ignorant gunasammudaha, the ignorant the ignorant lost in the gunas, the ignorant who fully engage themselves in material objects, sense objects, sajjante, they become attached. So gunakarmasu is the karmas driven by the inherent qualities of the nature, the three gunas, that is sattva, rajas and tamas. So gunasammudaha, those people who are ignorant, they get lost in the gunas and they fully engage themselves in various material actions. They become attached, sajjante. Tan akritsna vidaha, these persons also have very little knowledge. So these persons with little knowledge, mandan, slow in understanding. Kritsnavit is the knowledgeable, wise person. Na vichalayet, must not confuse and unsettle. So again Lord Krishna reiterates in this sloka the same point, that the wise should not confuse and unsettle the person with less knowledge, slow understanding, who is deluded by the gunas of nature and gets attached with the material objects. So the physical body is given to us by nature prakruti. So a person who is always conscious of the physical body and other material enjoyments is called as manda. Lord Krishna calls him manda buddhi. He is lost in the gunas created by prakruti. So this guna sammudaha, he responds and acts to all the sense objects and the modifications around him. So that's why he is called a guna sammudaha, he is called a manda buddhi person. This person gets attached and they are busy in the material world and they get caught in the cycle of samsara. The wise man, that is tattvavit, the person who knows, the knowledgeable person, what should he do? In one of the previous slokas, Lord Krishna said the wise person should not confuse the mind of the ignorant. He should be a role model by performing his duties in a detached way, and he should motivate ordinary persons around him also to do so. The same point is reiterated in this shloka. Wise men have a responsibility. They should show the way forward and lead by acting as per the shastras and perform the duties without any attachment.
Mayi sarvani karmani sanyasyadyatmachetasa nirashir nirmamo bhutva yudhyasya vigatajvaraha. Adhyatma chetasa is consciousness, that is with full focus on the supreme, the higher self, God. Sarvani karmani mayi sanyasya. Sanyasya is surrender, renounce. Sarvani karmani, renounce all your actions to me. That is, Lord Krishna tells, with full consciousness, with full focus on the supreme, renounce all your actions to me. Nirashihi, asha is desire. Nirashihi, with free from desire, without desire for fruits of action. Nirmamaha, without the feeling that this is mine, that sense of proprietorship, without a sense of ownership or proprietorship. Vigata jvaraha, without craving, without any kind of craving. Yudhyasva, fight. So Krishna tells Arjuna, surrender all your actions to me with full focus, all mind intent on me, without any ahankar, without any mamata, that is sense of any desire for fruits of action, and without any sense of proprietorship, surrender all your actions to me. It's not easy for everybody to develop a detached way of doing action. What is the way out? Renounce all actions to Lord Krishna. Our minds are so attached to the worldly things and other material considerations, so much so that it's just impossible for us to develop a detached mind. One great method to cultivate and develop a spiritual mind is to become devoted to the Lord. So by renouncing all the karmas to Him, our mind gets purified. The mind becomes spiritual when we surrender the actions and fruits of actions to Lord Krishna. All happiness and sorrow and other material things are unreal and they are subject to change. So knowing this, one should give up ego, one should give up the sense of proprietorship. Arjuna is a Kshatriya and the Lord commands him to fight, to fulfill his Kshatriya duty. Likewise, the Lord commands us that according to our varna, according to our ashram or the position in the social structure, we should perform our prescribed duties and dedicate it to Lord Krishna, the Supreme. The Lord also uses the word Vigata Jwaraha. He commands us to surrender our actions by being free from Jwaraha. Jwaraha is fever. Obviously, he is not referring to the fever that attacks the physical body. He refers to the fever that attacks the mind, which expresses through symptoms like anger, hatred, jealousy, that really consumes us. So Lord Krishna commands us to surrender all fruits of action, give up desire, give up ego, the feeling that I am the doer, mamta, this belongs to me, the feeling of proprietorship, and only by following this discipline, this fever can be cured. ये मे मतमिदं नित्यम् अनुतिष्ठन्ति मानवाः श्रद्धावन्तो न सूयन्तः मुच्यन्ते तेऽपि कर्मभिः. ये मानवाः अनसूयन्तः श्रद्धावन्तः मे इदं मदं नित्यम् अनुतिष्ठन्ति. अनुतिष्ठन्ति is follow. So ये मानवाः, these men, anasuyantah. Suya is fault finding, complaining, putting the blame on others. So anasuyantah. So those people, these people who do not complain, who do not fault find, shraddhavantah, with complete dedication, they follow my teaching or principle. Me idam madam. Madam is my principle, my teaching. So those people who follow me with complete dedication, who follow my principle, who follow my teachings with complete dedication, without fault finding, complaining, te api karma bihi muchyante. So they are free from karma bihi muchyante is they get moksha. So they are free from karma bandhana or bondage of action. So Lord Krishna tells that by following my teachings, by following my principles, by having absolute faith in the God, by following what Lord Krishna has taught us, without fault finding, without putting the blame. What we do is, once we face some hurdle, immediately we put the blame on Lord Krishna, on God. So Lord Krishna tells, don't complain, don't lament, with good intent, goodwill, perform all your actions and surrender the fruit of actions to Lord Krishna, and then you will be free from karma bandhana. ये त्वे तदभ्यसूयन्तः नानुतिष्ठन्ति मे मतं सर्वज्ञानविमूढांस्तान् विद्धि नष्टान चेतसः. तु ये अभ्यसूयन्तः मे एतत् मतं न अनुतिष्ठन्ति. न अनुतिष्ठन्ति does not follow. So ye abhyasuyantah, those persons who are always fault finding, who put the blame on me, me etat matam na anutishtanti, those persons who do not follow my teachings, tan achetasaha. Achetasaha, those persons, they do not have discrimination. Sarvajnana vimudan, so they are deluded in knowledge. There are different types of knowledge. So they are lost in knowledge, arivu mayakkam, and nashtan vitti. So no, vitti is no. So know these persons who do not follow me, who always complain about me. They know them as achetasaha, incapable of discrimination. They are not in a position to say what is right and what is wrong. Sarvajnana sammudan. So they have this arivu mayakam, they are so lost in knowledge, and nashtan, they are ruined person. So the Lord tells that those persons who disregard his teachings, they do not follow them, are bereft of all knowledge, they are mudaha, and they are ruined. So the consequences of not having faith, not following the Lord's teachings are clearly stated in this sloka. However learned a person may be, when a person disregards the Lord's teachings, he has no faith in him, then he is ruined. A person may be well versed in the Shastras, he may have good communication skills, he may be eloquent, but when he is devoid of devotion, when he does not have faith in Lord Krishna, he is ignorant, he lacks discrimination, he is confused, his mind wanders, and he is lost and ruined. Sadrisham cheshtate swasyaha prakriternyanavanappi prakritim yanti bhutani nigraha kim karishyati. Bhutani prakritim yanti. Yanti is follow. So bhutani, all living beings follow nature. Jnanavanapi swasyaha prakritehe sadrisham. Jnanavan, wise people also, swasyaha prakritehe, they all perform actions as per their nature. Nigraha kim karishyati. Nigraha is forceful restraint. So what can forceful restraint do? Just as a river flows into the ocean, and this natural thing cannot be reversed or controlled, likewise all living beings only act as per their nature. They are driven towards the natural instincts. However, we find that a dam is constructed to store water and to prevent the water from flowing into the ocean. Likewise, men too can give up their natural instincts, their natural cravings and desire and longings. How can they do it? They can do that only by focusing on Lord Krishna. So here nature refers to the qualities with which we are born as a result of the karmas of the previous births. If we've been spiritual in the previous births, then we have sattvic qualities and we have spirituality in us. So based on the previous birth's karma, we have desires, cravings and aspirations. Just as living beings act as per their nature, even a jnani performs actions as per his own nature. When that be the case with jnanis, what can be said about the ignorant? In the first sentence of the sloka, the Lord emphasizes the power of samskaras and vasanas with which we are born. Because of the sins and the good actions that we have committed in the previous births, we are born with certain inclinations. So nature, prakriti refers to that. Immediately in the next sentence itself, the Lord quips by asking, what can self-restraint do? So the Lord in fact is telling us, he is trying to underline that overcoming the sanskaras, overcoming the nature, the natural tendencies that we have, the natural inclinations that we have is not an easy task. It is a huge challenge. So what is the way out? Surrendering to the Lord. Only selfless devotion is our only hope for liberation. In the verses covered in this video, Shri Krishna discusses the three gunas, the modes of material nature, sattva, rajas and tamas. And further he explains how they impact the actions of people. The wise who know the divisions of action, who know that it is the Atma that is real, are detached and do not get entangled in all these. The ignorant who are bewildered by the gunas think that they are the doers of action. All men, including the wise, act as per their prakriti, that is their material nature. So overcoming the material nature is not at all easy. The only way to rise above these and become spiritual is surrendering all actions to Lord Krishna. So we'll cover another set of 6 or 7 shlokas in the next video. Thank you.